yeah, today I am here because I got called to Bible college last year, and like I said, I have not shared about it publicly. I've not shared the events surrounding it and what happened with all of that. I think it's something that's very important. It's something that is going to affect at least the first or the next 4 years of my life, and hopefully the rest of my life. So I really want to give a really full and overarching, or I guess a full and detailed view of what happened and why this is something that I'm pursuing, and obviously, overall to give God the glory for all of it. So again, I'm going to try to make this as concise as I can, but there is a little bit of background that we need to go into just a little bit, so I want to talk about that. I did social media for 5 years. I was on YouTube from 2015 until 2020. I did that for a very long time. I really enjoyed it. But for whatever reason, the middle of 2019 to the beginning of 2020, I became very hesitant about doing it. I didn't really enjoy it very much anymore, and there was a lot of things that I was seeing that maybe I wasn't doing that were even right. With social media, there's a lot of taking advantage of other people and trying to make them click on a video and buy things from you. It's very strange. Again, in 2015, I also started, maybe even before that, I started learning app development. So whenever the slow fade of not really enjoying social media anymore started to come in, the fade up of app development came in. And in the beginning of 2020, I released my first app to the App Store, Shuttercast, at the height of COVID, like right at the beginning of COVID. 2020 was also the year that I started college. So I started going to a local technical college in August of 2020. I was originally going to that college for marketing because of the YouTube and social media thing. I really just wanted to learn more about marketing and make sure that I have a degree, if that was ever going to be something that would happen. But as I came closer and closer to the school year starting, I actually, about a month before, I changed over to app development, because that's what I was really interested in. In the midst of my first semester at this local technical college in August, actually November 2020, I was converted. So in the middle of all of this happening, I'm converted. And very slowly, I start to develop a very strong sense of an urge to glorify God. And where I was at the school and what I was being taught was definitely not helping me do that in a direct way. Obviously, you can be a plumber and glorify God, but this was not, I just knew for a while this is not what I really wanted to do. As far as this only. After being converted, it took months before I really start to understand God and understand who He was. I had a lot of false doctrine in my head I had to get rid of, and it was a process. So, I guess skipping 2 years, my last semester of this technical college was in August of 2022. So, literally just a few months ago was my last semester. I spent 6 semesters in technical college getting a associate's degree, which usually takes 4 semesters. A lot of things happened with the faculty at that school that, without me knowing, extended by time 2 semesters. Anyway, last year, August 2022, last semester, still no prospects on a job. Not fully really enjoying app development to think, hey, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life, but I don't really know what else to do, so this is just what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm wondering about a job. I guess my plan at this point is to develop apps for a company or for myself in Greenville in a small apartment with a dog. I think a step towards that, in 2 weeks, developed an app called Pixmix, which, truthfully, probably would take a team of developers to develop in a month or so. I was all by myself and I did it in 2 weeks because I was desperate and I needed money. And I didn't know what else to do. I thought that, this life of app development was going to be my future, so I was like, I might as well get another app out there. I slept, and worked on this app for 2 weeks. It doesn't seem like a lot of time. It was crazy. I was not in a very good spot then after that because I was so tired from working on all that stuff, and I just felt really, I hate to say the word distant from God because I do not believe that God distances himself from us in the sense that he is unavailable to us, but I probably distance myself from him, is more of what I mean by that. So my dad had been walking on this trail that we have nearby, and I'm talking about like a dirt trail. It's not like a cement trail with these perfectly planted trees. The people, it's a state trail, so the people that keep up with it do a really good job. But it's not. It's like actually in the woods in solitude. It's amazing. My dad asked me to go and walk with him one day. To do that, he'd been doing that for a few months, so he asked me to go walk with him. We got to talking. It was great. But he told me, this was on a Wednesday, he told me on the next day, which would be Thursday, that I should come back and walk by myself. I was already planning on fasting from technology at that point because I was like, this is just getting ridiculous. Like, I can't do this anymore. This is really not working out for me. I'm not feeling good. It's been 2 weeks of just like 8, 9 hours a day of just like coding and coding and coding and not really getting up from a computer that entire time. So it was ridiculous. So I was like, I'm gonna fast, and he's like, while you're fasting from technology, come here to the trail and walk and pray. So anyway, I on Thursday, I went to the trail by myself and I prayed. And my main goal of that walk was to ask for direction from God for a job. I wasn't expecting God to open up the sky and speak to me audibly. That don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm asking for. I was just asking for direction in my life, and maybe just some answers on what I'm supposed to do. Because this semester, this was in September, by the way. I probably should have said that. So this semester is really coming to close pretty quickly, and I have to make sure that, or I felt like I needed to make sure that I knew what I was doing afterwards. Because I can't live with my parents forever, and I got to start making money. I think in the middle of me asking for a job and just really a lot of anxiety, I really started to long to be with God, to see and hear Him. I was really longing for the new earth, to really be with Him physically. But I felt like emotionally distressed because I was like, how long do I have to wait to see and hear you? This could be 80 more years of my life of me going through this without being able to see and hear you. And then all of a sudden, God revealed himself to me in his creation. This is something that my parents and I've heard other Christians talk about before, but I never truly understood. I've never really been an outdoors person. But as I was walking this trail, I was seeing again, this is the beginning of fall, I was seeing these beautiful trees and these leaves falling and all of these things. And all of a sudden, as I was begging God for the new earth and wanting to hear and see him, I was hearing God on the winds and seeing him in the trees. It was amazing. And I felt closer to him then than I've ever felt in my life. And it has been something that has carried me through these past few months. Like, it's something that literally changed my life. I look out and see the trees, and I see him in it. I'm telling you, August of last year, didn't see that. I mean, I saw it a little bit. I mean, being a Christian, you see it a little bit, but I never saw it in the way that I see it now. Seeing a sunset is like one of the most beautiful things to me now, and I never really understood it before. So Thursday was a day of me really becoming really close to him. Of course, I spent time in the Bible as well, being away from technology. I had a lot more time on my hands. I was reading a book which really brought home this idea, sovereignty of God, brought home this idea of God being the God of the garden and God of nature and creation. And that book that I was reading by the sovereignty of God was exactly what I needed that exact day. It was amazing. So that was great. Still no answer on a job though. Really confused still, but really just being able to trust in God more than I ever thought was possible. The next day, because of my experience on Thursday, I was like, well, I'm doing this again because I said I was fasting for for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So I'm going back on Friday and doing this again, not expecting to have an even better revelation that time. That's not what I mean, but just being back in that creation. So at that point, I was like, okay, God, probably selfishly, sinfully, maybe. I was like, what you revealed to me yesterday was amazing, and it's going to carry me through for my whole life, but I need to know about a job again. So it's like God reveals this amazing thing to me, and I go right back to being selfish and being like, all right, now let me know what to do next. But in his grace and patience, within 15 minutes of me going back on that trail and asking, what do you want me to do next? Where do you want me to go work? I had a clear answer about Bible college in 15 minutes. Something that I had considered a little bit before, but I knew with certainty, and I know with certainty now, that the Holy Spirit provoked me, called me, told me, whatever you want to say, like, you need to go learn more about me because you don't know enough. And I've given you the desire to learn, and you better use that desire to learn more about me. And so I felt called Bible college. Was something that is really interesting is I have a journal entry from August 19th, 2022 at 12:10 a.m. I don't journal very much at all. I've probably filled like 2 pages of this, but August 19th, 2022, I said, is God calling me to go to Bible school and start a church? So this was something that was on my mind, but not something that I was really thinking about. I especially did not want to have to redo school again. But after having that certain call from the Spirit, which is possible, vocational callings are possible, I erupted in praise for the next 50 minutes or however long I walked. That was just the beginning. He called me to something harder than I thought was ever gonna be possible for me. And in that moment, I definitely did not understand what I was getting myself into, or what God was getting me into. For example, first of all, I thought I was done with school. I did not like school. I did not like my college at all. I really did not like it. To be honest with you, I really don't know if I learned very much there. I was there for 3 years. I paid all this money, and I mean, it's still a technical college, so it wasn't like a lot of money, but I was there for 3 years and 6 semesters, and I don't really know if I learned anything there, and I really did not like it. My teachers were nice and they were good, but they didn't really teach me very well. So I was like, I'm done with school. That's why I was like, not even thinking about that, not even thinking about going to get a bachelor's or a master's. I'm done with school. And then of course God's like, guess what? You're going to school. So I did not know what Bible college was at all. The calling was not necessarily to go to Bible college in the sense that I need a degree. Like, I need this transaction of I'm going there to learn, I get a degree back, but it's the going there to learn part. To this day, all I want to do is go there to learn. I had no idea, like, again, I had no idea what a Bible college was, so I was just praying and really didn't know what to do, prayer upon prayer. This is something, like, brand new. It's like, it's like someone says to you, go to Bible college, and you're like, what is that? I have no idea. Like, I know what college is, but I know what the Bible is, but like how those two things go together, what does that mean? Now what? Like, where is a Bible college? I don't know any Bible colleges. And here's the thing, is that I didn't want to go to a Bible college and learn false doctrine. I didn't see any reason to do that. I didn't see any reason to go there someplace that I knew some of them were going to be wrong, some of them might be right. So I don't want to go to like this liberal Christian place where they're saying that Jesus wasn't God or something. Like, I want actually real college, real teaching from the Bible. So I knew from the get-go that I wanted Reformed teaching, because Reformed means going back to the Bible. So I knew I wanted Reformed teaching. That's not what the word actually means. I feel like I have to clarify myself because I say things in my mind. The point of the Reformation was going back to the Bible. And so I knew that that's what I wanted. If obviously not every single Reformed Bible college is perfect. None of them are perfect. But I knew that if that's what they were trying to do, is follow the teachings of these reformers that I've been reading and listening to, then that's what I want. But again, I don't know any Reformed Bible colleges. So what do? I Google Reformed Bible College. The first result that comes up is Reformation Bible College, which makes sense. I really liked it. I really liked the website. I really liked what the website entailed, what it talked about, what their values were. I loved it. I found out it was in Florida. Not happening. No way I'm moving out of the state. So I started to look for others. So I was looking at all these websites, getting in contact with some people, but I really just continued to come back to RBC. Again, I'm praying and I'm praying and I'm praying, and there's this draw from me to go to RBC. Then a few things happened. And I will say, The main reason why I did not want to go to RBC at all is because it was in Florida. A few things happened. Um, I found out that R.C. Sproul founded it with RBC with Ligonier. I had been listening to Ligonier and R.C. Sproul for maybe 5 months before this. Never had really heard of them before in my life. I didn't know anything about them, and then all of a sudden, middle of last year, I start listening to them, and then a few months later, I am just so happened to be going to that school. So I'm like, this is just like even more of a reason to go. I had no idea that they even had a school. I mean, that's not something that I feel like I ever heard. Another thing that happened, this is just kind of funny. I was listening to a Ligonier podcast, and a guy named Stephen Nichols was on it, and I had never heard of him before, and I really liked him. I was like, this guy gets it. Not that those other people I was talking about earlier didn't get it, but like this guy really gets it. Like he is saying exactly what I'm thinking. He is making sense to me. He sounds like he knows the Bible. I really like him. This is great. He's a part of the same organization that started the college. Come to find out, Stephen Nichols is actually the president of RBC. No idea. I was on their website another day, a few days after that or something, and I was scrolling through and I was like, who's the president? Stephen Nichols, of course. I felt such a draw to this man and this school out of nowhere. It's amazing. So there's just like a confirmation after confirmation of this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I found myself submitting an application on their website. Super easy, not a lot of stress doing that. And I got accepted. Towards the middle to end of October, we went on a trip. I think, actually, I might have gotten those events. I think I submitted my application, then we went on the trip. I don't think that I'm accepted yet at this point. I could be wrong. Anyway, I did get accepted. Anyway, we go on a camping trip in October. One of the best camping trips I've ever been on. It was beautiful. And I get the first call from the advisor. I'm like sweating because I'm so anxious because this could be my future. And that talk went great. I really got to understand a lot more of like how the school works, because it is very different than any other school that I've ever researched or ever been to. So it's very different. And so in that time, in that camping trip, one night, as I was for a little bit, I was praying for God's provision, because I was like, if I'm moving to Florida, then I'm gonna need some provision from you, because this is gonna be crazy. I don't even have a job yet. I don't even know what's going on. So literally the next day, I think it was like 12 hours later, I get over $4,000 from a lawsuit settlement with Apple because I was a small developer. Now, I had claimed that lawsuit, whatever, like a year ago. I didn't even remember that even happened. And it came out in I remember as I was looking into it, I was like, October, wasn't this supposed to come out a long time ago? It was. I was supposed to be paid for that in like August or July or something. And for some reason, God's providence, it got delayed until October. I don't know if it was delayed for everybody or just for me, but I got paid the day after over $4,000 after asking for provision from God. Now, I'm aware $4,000 is not going to pay for 4 years of school. I know that. But that's a lot of money. And God, out of nowhere, gave that to me as sort of like a sign, I felt, of like, look, I'm here. Like, I love you. You're real. Or I'm real. God's real. I'm here. I heard your prayer. And I'm confident about that. So, even so, the next few months, a lot of months, I would say, from September to January or February, I was greatly troubled about moving to Florida. Like, greatly troubled. Moving to Florida and doing this at RBC is opposite than almost everything about me. Some of you guys don't know me personally. I am very socially anxious. I love my family a lot. I never in a million years dreamed from about being so far from them. I like I said, I plan on maybe moving to Greenville, which is about an hour and a half away from where we live, maybe even less than that. So that was about the max, though. That was like the max of where I wanted to move to. And so I never in a million years dreamed about moving away from them. So I was greatly troubled about it. Here's another thing. This is selfishness coming out in me. I don't even like Florida. I don't like hot weather. I love cool weather. I mean, it's been cool here the past few days, and I've loved it. That moving to Florida is something that never registered in my mind ever. It's humid there. It's warmer than South Carolina. I never thought about moving there. And I mean, this school, I'm living with people in a dorm in an apartment. I never dreamed of doing that. I love my solitude, which is again, these are all sins that I'm talking about here. And so, but I think overall, I was very, very, very sad to leave my family. I still am very sad to leave my family, but back then I was really, really, really sad to leave my family. Like, not necessarily depressed, but like on the verge of being depressed. The reason for this, flat out, more sin confession here. I put my family above God, and I've done that for since I was converted. And God is a jealous God. Does not like that. He wants me to love my family, of course, but he does not want me to love my family above him. And so that's one of the lessons that I'm learning in all of this. There's going to be millions of lessons that I'm sure I'll share one day, but that's one of them is do not love anything before God. And so I still struggle with that to today. I mean, I still have times where I'm like, man, is this worth it? Like I have to leave them. And then I'm like, this is what God has called me to do. So I guess for a very long time, I was very saddened by this idea. There was excitement there, of course. There's always going to be excitement for some sort of big change like this, but I was very saddened for a very long time. But over time, God continued to give me a greater and greater desire for RBC. This is something it's hard for me to explain because it was such a gradual thing, but I can tell you that in September, October, I started being not even necessarily wanting to go to RBC, not because of RBC, but because it was in Florida, because of all that it entailed, but knowing that that's what God wanted me to do. So almost that God was forcing me to it, and that I was going to do it, but only because I was called to it by God. And I think that only doing something because you're called to it by God is reasonable. But there was excitement, but not very much. It was something that definitely felt like I was holding God's hand, and He was kind of having to drag me along it. But over time, I went from that to now. I am so excited to go there. I'm still sad to leave my family, but I am so excited to go there. I leave in 3 months, and I am so excited about it, but I'm also so nervous and so sad to leave my family. But God gave me, I was praying for it, God gave me desire for this more than I ever could imagine. I was praying for desire for it. He gave me an even greater desire than I thought. He even has given me a greater desire for warmer weather. I mean, like I said, I kind of despised the summer before, and now I'm like kind of okay with it. I'm fine with it. It's like these little things like that God does. It doesn't seem like the God of the universe would care about me caring about warmer weather, but He has given me a desire for that even more. And He's also been teaching me a lot to not love my family less, but love Him more. I think that's a really big thing. You can love something more than you did originally. And so I think whenever you hear, oh, I love my family too much, I need to love God more, it's like you need to love your family less. No, you need to love God more. Love your family more too, but always love God more than anything else. So that's been something that I've been working on, praying for a lot. Anyway, since then, in March, I think the end of March, we visited RBC, and it was amazing. I loved it. It confirmed it even more. Like, God already called me to it, so it's not like this is a big deal, but the campus is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. The apartments were amazing. It was so great. And I just realized that, like, this is really where I'm supposed to be. Like, this is another thing I didn't even think about to share. God has given me also over the past few months a love for architecture. Where did that come from? I have no idea. I didn't care about that at all. But over the past few months to a year, I have really, really admired the design and the care of old churches, the intricacies, the grandness of them, all to the glory of God, is something that I've been really admiring. And so being able to go to RBC and see that these people have the same thing. They're saying the same stuff. They are building this campus all through donations to the glory of God. I'm going in August of 2023 this year. Um and so that again, that's something that's happening in 3 months. I'm super excited about it. I'm sure that I will update you all a lot of times about it. I think right now my biggest prayer is for provision from God still. RBC has the lowest prices of any school I've ever seen in my life, and they have been incredibly great or incredibly kind to me, and I am so grateful for all of the donors that have donated to the Ligonier for RBC. They have an amazing cost of tuition and housing. I will be staying on campus for the first year at least. A lot of times they like for you to stay the first year and then kind of go off into another apartment or something because they only have a few, not a few rooms, but they only have a few dozen rooms because it is such a small school. Um, and so yeah, I think even still, I'm praying for provision. I really kind of needed a car. I have a car right now, but it's older and it has about 200,000 miles on it. It's broken down a few times, so I was praying for that because I can't drive back and forth from well, I thought I couldn't drive back and forth from South Carolina to Florida. So I guess I thought that I needed a car. It's becoming clear that the used car market right now is crazy. So it might not happen. I can't go pay $12,000 for a car right now, so that's just not going to happen. Maybe we'll see. And also paying for food and insurance and all the daily life stuff that I've never had to do with before. I'm praying for my anxiety. I mean, I have sometimes intense anxiety over this, which is sin. Anxiety is sin. I've heard that said many times. Like that anxiety is not a sin. It is a sin. Jesus did not have anxiety. In the Garden of Gethsemane, that's a tangent. I guess just praying provision for my anxiety and really just trusting God. I mean, that's been my biggest thing is just trusting Him. Um, I think it's something that is hard to do for some reason, but it's something that's commanded and something that is incredibly easy to do, on the other hand, because he's the God of the universe and he has created these financial systems and put them into order and he holds everything together and he's above all things and in him all things hold together. So it's it just trusting God is another thing that I could use prayer for all of this. I think another thing I want to talk about in relation to this, sort of the reasoning. Okay, you're going to school to learn. That's great. You still don't know what your job is after this. That's true. I would not be surprised, however, if I was going to be a pastor or some sort of minister of some sort. I was called in the beginning of 2022 to speak publicly about God in whatever way He calls me to. So I started the Glorify Initiative, which is a social media website, articles, posts way of speaking about God. I I wrote about it in my article about killing myself, my old self, daily. This is something that I expect to die for. I expect in 20 years to be carried away and killed for this because I'm not going to compromise with the world's desires and what they say is truth. Only what Jesus does, and I'm doing so publicly. So I do expect to be killed for that. I'm not being a prophet. I'm not saying that is going to happen. I'm just saying that I would not be surprised if in a few years, a few decades, or whatever it does. It's getting really bad out there, so we can't be morons and act like it isn't. Um, so RBC, obviously will help me be better at this. I will learn so much. I'm already starting to learn Greek now, but I'm going to learn Greek and Hebrew and hermeneutics, and I'm sure apologetics, and there's I think a little bit of Latin. There's so many things I'm learning there that are going to help me about the Bible and about God and about church history and just all these different things that are definitely going to help me in the midst of all of that. So yeah, I think I would also make mention, just in case it's something that anybody ever feels called to. I have on the Glorify Initiative a way that you actually can donate to the Glorify Initiative, which for the moment will actually go to RBC to help pay for that tuition, help pay for books, help pay for school, for housing, for food, and all of that. I'm very serious about that. Very serious. I'm going to be very transparent and very clear about if anyone ever donates where that money goes to, but I'm not asking for money. This is not me asking for money. That's not at all what my ministry or whatever you want to call it of the Glorify Initiative has ever been about. I do sell products on the Glorify Initiative, but I get like, I don't know, 10% of the commission from that, so it's like it's almost nothing. So that this is not at all about making money, but I'm just saying there is a way you can go to glorifyinitiative.com/donate. Again, not at all asking for money. This is only if you feel called to give. All the money goes to RBC. And yeah, again, not asking for money at all. Not what this is about. Only if you feel called from God to give to this ministry of Glorify Initiative and the future ministry of me learning school and all that. Learning school, learning more about the Bible. Anyway, I guess that's kind of it. That's kind of the story, and as much detail as I can remember. I hope that this was edifying to you guys. I hope that something came out of this, and that you were able to hear my story, and maybe it got you thinking about something. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching or listening or whatever you're doing, and I'll see you later. All right, bye.